book digitizers? Peter here. I'm just editing this video together and I thought I should insert this little preamble real quick. First note, I have not been paid for this review. I purchased the CZUR Shine Ultra with my own money, as explained in my last video. I have no arrangement or agreement with CZUR. Also, this is going to be a long video, so look in the description for a time index that you can click on to instantly jump to a particular topic section within this video. Finally, big news. I have decided to give away this scanner to one of my lucky viewers. That's right. Could be you. More on that in my next video. For now, let's get on with the setup and testing of the CZUR Shine Ultra. Let's do it. One of the challenges I face is, although I've got a pretty good sized desk, most of it, as you can see, is taken up by computer equipment, in particular my monitors. Let's see if I can manage to squeeze this scanner maybe into this tiny amount of workspace. This will actually be fairly instructive as to how small a space this thing can operate in. Let's try it out. Okay, as you can see, the book I want to scan is extending off the edge of the table. Well, let's see if this will even work the way it is. Let's just raise this table up to standing. We do have some accessories, including USB cable, which I'm going to obviously need, finger cots, and the foot pedal. Let's take a look at the foot pedal. Interesting. Okay, well, let's open this up. This plugs into the foot pedal connector on the back here. There we go. So, foot pedal plugged in. Will this reach to the ground? Let's see. Oh, just. Well, of course I am on a super high desk right now, so it's kind of an unfair comparison, but it still reaches to the ground. I can click it with my foot, okay? And now, so that takes care of that. Let's see what's inside the finger cots box. Please wear the finger cots. When you select facing pages, processing method, and removing fingerprints will work automatically. Oh, interesting. Put the finger cot on your finger according to left and right. Put your finger into the hole and press the top groove with the thumb. Press the finger cots to the edge of the book without covering the content. Keep finger cots. Okay, so this, oh, interesting. This is how it removes your fingers, because if you're scanning a book manually, you're going to be holding pages down. And rather than using some fancy AI to remove those images, you are going to simply, oh, there we go, left and right. There's a engraved, hard to see, left and right. You're going to hold the pages down with these, and that tells the software exactly what is your fingers, and it will remove it from the edge of the pages. 90 degrees, not this. So it's kind of nice that they've angled these. So in your natural handheld position, they're going to be where they need to be at 90 degrees. So that's kind of neat. We'll need those. And finally, USB cable. So this will let us hook this baby up. Okay. Let's install this. Fortunately, I have a PC that still has a disk drive, which is something that not a lot of people have anymore. Usually, you have to install the drivers before you plug in the device. So, and let's do that. Okay, there's a full manual, software manual and user manual, and software to set up. When you install the software, you will be asked for the serial number or product number of the device. This is a unique number that is printed on the bottom of the device, so you will need that handy as you install the software. The other thing I would suggest is just go to the website for the company, for the product, and install the latest version directly from the website. I actually installed from the CD-ROM, and when I ran the software for the first time, I was suggested to update, which I did, and then I had to enter that serial number in a second time. So do yourself a favor, just go straight to the website and install the latest version of the software the first time. And the software is now running. Interesting, it's not complaining about the fact that I have not yet plugged in the device. Probably need to plug that in. Okay. Getting the beep saying it's setting up device ET13R. Device is ready. ET13R is set up and ready to go. Oh, and I can now see this device. Here, let me hold it up to webcam. Lights are on. Lights are off because I pushed the button. Lights are on because I pushed the button. And I can turn the intensity down. I can turn the intensity up. That's kind of neat. Let's see what this software has. This app is full screen, and I cannot make it not full screen. Let's put on the finger cots. And let's try a scan. I'm going to skip over showing you me bumbling around with the software. The biggest mistake I made was I did not use that large black mat, that neoprene mat. That is required, it is important, and it would not fit in the workspace that I had on top of my desk. It was hanging over the edge, so I had to move everything down to the floor. And once I did that and figured out a couple of things in the software, things went much, much better. I have set up this device, the CZUR Shine Ultra, on the floor, just because I don't have enough desk space. So let me just switch over to the software and show you how that works. So I have installed and updated the software. So I hope you can see this. I realize it might be a little small on your view screen. So there's a scan button in the bottom right hand corner, or of course you can hit the foot pedal, which is plugged in. So I have a one-page document that's currently in front of the scanner. So if I hit scan, now notice this is a standard so-called North American letter size, 8.5 by 11 inch. The document has been found by those orange lines. On the top right here, I select what color mode I want and also what processing mode I want. So in this case, flat paper is correct. There are some options I can get to by clicking the gear icon. I'm going to click the scan foot pedal and let's see what happens. And here in the corner, we can see it's adding the scan page. If I click back, here we are back at the sort of main view of the CZUR software, and I can, let's see, I'm going to want to do a rotate. Now this is one of the first concerns I have with this device, is to fit a standard letter size page. I had to load it horizontally, if you will, and then rotate it in post-processing, which is easy enough to do, and I think you can do it in batch. Now there are two heights to this device I can adjust. This is, the lower is supposed to be the A4 position, which let's try lifting the main column up to the higher position, which is supposed to accommodate as big as an A3, which is twice A4, and see if that can fit the page without having to rotate. So let's try that. So let's raise this column up And I rotate the page and look at it in the preview, and sure enough, yeah, it looks like it can get all of it without having to rotate. Of course, I think that means that our resolution is a little bit lower, but let's try scanning this one. Also, you can see it's a little bit crooked, but has it auto-corrected? It has. So just looking at my two scans. So not horrible and not a big problem to have the slightly lower resolution with that. Let's try scanning a book. So for book scanning, I would normally go into curved book mode, but this is the cover, so it shouldn't need it. Now already I'm seeing some things I'm concerned with. The two lights on the scan head are creating a glare right on the book cover here. That might be because the book is kind of a shiny cover, but I think a lot of books have shiny covers, so that's a little disappointing. If I change it to curved book in the settings here, no, so it's wanting to get ready for the magic flattening of the page. I'm not there yet. So let me go back to flat paper just for the cover. Auto is fine. And let's just scan with that. Let me see what my results look like so far. Okay, so you can see the glare has put a couple of, they look like burn holes in the cover of the book. So that's not ideal. It's not the end of the world, but, and I'm not sure what's going up on this corner here because that was that's more glare. I'm wondering if that's from another light source in the room. I don't know. Now let's try scanning some pages of the book. I'm going to use the finger cots that are provided, and I will use the foot pedal that's provided, and we'll see how quickly I can get through a few pages. I'm not going to do the entire book. I just want to get an idea for how it's going to work. So I'm going to switch to curved book and leave it in auto mode. And then the trick is, I think I've got to get the book lined up with the spine. I think I have to get the book lined up with that line there. This is part of the anchoring for the algorithm to work properly. So let's hold that with a cot on one side. I'm going to click the foot pedal with my hand. And now as that's processing, I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to click the foot pedal with my hand again. Already I can see I'm a little bit out of position. And let's put that spine back where it belongs. I'm not sure how significant that spine location is going to be to the finished product. Yeah, I can see already keeping that spine aligned is going to be a bit of a challenge. So if I can keep the spine lined up with the software orange line, yeah, I can get a pretty good speed going. I think I'd be going a lot faster if I was working at a table instead of on the floor. But what are you going to do? Okay, that's enough samples. Let's take a look at the results. There's a blank page, there's the signed inside cover, blank page, next page. Okay, so this page, I can see some curvature here. This was the right-hand page, which was pretty flat because I was at the start of the book, but let's go back to this one for a second. And if I click on this icon here at the bottom right, this shows where it put the orange lines. So if I'm supposed to be able to move the dots on the yellow line, which is actually an orange line, so that the yellow line fits as close as possible to the real edge. So it found the bottom edge fine, the top edge is fine. The left side it's a little messed up on. But I am unable to click these dots. Move points. I gotta click move points. Move points is doing nothing. I got a feeling that should reveal the dots to let me move them, but it's not. What happens if I click remove and redraw? Nothing. Let me go back to move points, preview. Okay, let's cancel this. Let's go to another curved page. Again, that's a flat page. It was for the right. Let's see a left-hand page. There's another left-hand page. I can see some curvature. The other thing is it's actually sort of shrunk the page left-right because it is sort of at an angle. It's been foreshortened relative to the scanning camera. There's not much you can do about that. So, let's look at another left-hand page. See, if I compare this page, which is a right-hand page, look at the width on screen there, and I go to the other page, it's about, on screen here, it's about 1 centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters less wide. Also, it looks like I goofed and had the finger caught on top of the text here. So far what I'm seeing, the results are certainly readable. They're less than ideal, in my opinion. Maybe I've been spoiled by my flatbed scanning, which is, has absolutely perfect geometry, perfect scans, as close to perfect as you can get. So this is okay, and certainly for a book that you can't or don't want to destroy when you're transforming it, this would be a good idea. But I'm not super impressed with the straightening algorithm, especially here where it's so obviously different page widths between the left and right side. And I'm not sure what, if anything, I could do about that. I suppose I could put some sort of leveling block or wood or something underneath that left page in the beginning so that it's sitting flat relative to the camera instead of at a foreshortened angle. But then you're going to have to adjust that as you constantly go through the book and do a lot of tweaking. And the whole point of this was it's supposed to be fast and no tweaking required. See, here's another one. If I go from a right-hand page to a left-hand page, I realize the difference between left and right pages here is just because I'm near the front of the book. The bulk of the book is sitting flat relative to the camera, and the right-hand page is sitting at an angle. As I get to the end of the book, it'll be the opposite. And I wonder what will happen in the middle of the book. Let's find out. Let me scan some pages from the middle of the book here and see what happens. Okay, let's see how that looks. It's interesting. In the center portion of the book, the difference between left and right pages, that foreshortening effect, is not nearly as obvious, probably because they're both sort of getting the exact same, or mirror image of the exact same correction. This scan is okay. In auto mode, the picture's not the best I've seen. They're not horrible, but it's clearly a scan. I suppose playing with some of the settings might be able to help that. Okay, let's try exporting this as a PDF and then as a searchable PDF and just sort of look at the final results that way. So if I guess I've got to select all of them, and then on the left here, click export as, first let's try PDF. I get some options here. I want them all combined. Actually, you know what? Let's clear that. Let's get rid of that first test page because that's not part of this book. delete that one. So now with all of the pages selected, let's try this again. PDF, export, combined as one. Let's go highest resolution possible, PDF format. Interesting. You can standardize it as one of the standard page sizes or not. Well, that wasn't a standard page size, so I'll say no. Make it a PDF archive. No, that's okay. So here it says the dimensions are going to be 120 by 181 millimeters. And if I measure this book, it is 125 millimeters by 230. So weirdly, it's shrunk the page size. Let me just go to a different page. Are they all the same? Oh, here we can really get an idea of that page difference. So on the right-hand page, 115 by 181, and a left-hand page is 106 by 182. So the height is constantly around 181, 182, but the width is as small as 99 millimeters on this blank page, and as wide as 117 millimeters. So again, variations on the page width are kind of bothering me. So let's do this final export. So high resolution, that's fine, confirm. And let's just call it flimflam test 1. Then I'm going to do it again with OCR and we'll look at the OCR results. So export is searchable PDF. Yes, it is English. Export type is, PDF, not a PDF archive. Let's do the same high quality output. Image processing mode. Adjust or keep original. Let's try auto adjust. Call this test OCR auto adjust and save it. And here the OCR, it was initializing. Now it's going through and I'm processing. Could move to background. I'm just going to let it run in the foreground. Looks like it's almost done. Preparing for combining. Okay, status completed. It would be nice if there was an obvious way to exit this other than X. Okay, and now let's do one more searchable PDF, but this time we'll do image processing as keep original. See what this does. Still PDF quality high. So this is flimflam OCR original images. And it's OCR processing. Okay, I guess that's completed. And one more, let's just try exporting it to Word. Word size, interesting. Page sizes are only giving either auto, which will probably match the original scan, or European sizes, A3, A4, A5. I don't see a letter in there or a way to add it. So let's leave it at auto. We'll leave the image processing at auto and confirm. And we'll call this flimflam test Word OCR. It's interesting, it has to reprocess, do all that OCR work again. It looks like it didn't somehow save it to a buffer somewhere or some other supplementary file that it could just pull in. Anyways, that's done. So now let's look at some of these files. First, let's look at the Word. If I open this, what is going on here? Oh, this is because I said all together, maybe? It's just jammed everything on the same page. That's strange. Let's close that. Let's go back to our first test. This was just a regular PDF. Okay. Not bad. I can really see the page width difference here. Kind of disturbing, kind of frustrating. Let's look at the OCR'd version. That was not OCR'd. Let's look at the OCR'd version. So let's try the OCR auto adjust. It seems to be getting words. Let's just try a little copy and paste of text here. It's interesting. The OCR got rid of that line breaking hyphen and made it all in one line, so you get this not continuing after mathematician should be like that. It's weird, but overall I don't see any obvious problems, even with strange words like, I don't know, Dr. Matrix. It's unusual. Let's try another page. Let's see what this one looks like. Copy that. Let's get rid of all this and paste it in. Missed a space there. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's try this page. This was a left-hand page. Copy that in. Again, it looks like it's repaired a line breaking hyphen, which would be great if it was forming this into paragraphs anyways, but now it's just making one line twice as long as all the others. That's kind of weak. Not the end of the world though. Okay, let's try let's see, which one was that? This was auto adjust images. Let's try the one that was original images. I'm not sure what that setting does. Let's compare these images with these ones which were auto-adjusted images. Clicking back and forth between them, I can see the default page size is a little bit different in the original image. So auto-adjust has shrunken everything a little bit, but we still have, it's the same OCR engine, so I would expect to get the exact same results. Let's look at file sizes. So the non-OCR'd version was 18.5 meg. The auto-adjusted version was all the way down at just over 3 meg, and the original images version was 11 meg. So OCR did reduce the overall file size by a little bit or a lot, depending on if you kept the original images or let it auto adjust, which is not surprising because it probably took out a bunch of information. Still, that's a pretty big reduction. That's about 1/6 the original size. Last thing is to test this against some of my coffee table books. However, I can't, because some of the books I really wanted to non-destructively scan are just too big. They won't fit fully under the scanner. Let me just show that to you real quick. So once I pull this flat with a finger cot, it's just a little bit wider. It's just a little bit wider than the black background I'm supposed to fit everything within. So when all is said and done, I'm not going to be able to scan my large coffee table size books with the scanner. So having spent not a lot of time with it, can I recommend this scanner? Depends on your use case. I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I've got it. I'm sure I will occasionally use it. But as you can see, unless I can solve some of these problems with the page sizes not being the same because one is foreshortened on the camera face relative to the other, I'm not in a hurry to use this for my book scanning, at least not for my book scanning. I've been spoiled by my method, which gives pristine, perfect scans, and this, despite the algorithm, is still less than perfect. As of right now, and I'm not going to replace my regular transformative destructive process with this scanner just because it might be perceived to be a bit faster. For me, the slight extra amount of time, and at the end of the day, I don't think there is any extra time, doing it the way I've done it previously with cutting up the book and feeding it through a page sheet feeder, I think the results are far superior and really don't take any extra time. So another really big problem I have with this product is it appears to not be a TWAIN or WIA interface device. If I go into NAPS 2, which, as you know from my previous videos, is an important part of my workflow, just because it's so easy to see all your pages and visually correct and analyze and sort and find problems before you finalize things. If I go into that software, I don't see this popping up as a TWAIN or WIA device. Now, maybe there's something I missed, but it looks like I have to use the CZUR software, which is okay, but it's not what I want to use. The whole point of having a TWAIN or WIA device is you're free to mix and match and use whatever software you want with whatever hardware you want, as long as they're both talking using the TWAIN WIA interface. I'm going to give this an okay validation. It's great for sort of industrial scanning and just, routine document scanning around the house. It's very small, it's lightweight. You could even put it in a backpack and take it with you. I probably won't be using it too much. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.